Hello everybody. This is the fourth and final video for simple interest. For lesson 2.4, and we're going to be talking about simple interest. So when we're going to find the simple interest, we're just going to use this, what's called the simple interest formula, and that's this piece right here. So I want to make sure everybody copies this formula down so they know what it means, what each piece of it means. Okay? Simple interest formula is just I equals P times R times T. I is the amount of interest that's earned. P is the principal, or also known as the deposit of money. R is the rate of interest per year, so that's going to be in a percentage form. And T is the time in years that the money earns interest. Okay, so what happens with the simple interest is, say you were to put $300 into an account that earns simple interest, and after a certain amount of years, that $300 is going to change to more money because it's earning interest. Just so you're basically earning free money from simple interest. And you'll see what I mean as we work out a few problems. Okay, so the first thing is let's just see how much interest was earned. Let's figure out what our I is right here. Okay, so I am told that we make a deposit. The principal is $300. Okay, and they have an interest rate of earning of 4%. Okay, and then the time and years that the money earns interest was 2 years. So what we're going to do is we're just going to multiply all three of these values to figure out what my I is, how much interest was earned. Okay, and that's it. So we use the formula. We know our P, we know our R, we know our T. We plug them into this formula, and now we can just multiply. The first thing I have to do, though, is I have to convert my percentage into a decimal so that I can multiply. So 4%, if I turn it into a decimal, this is from lesson 2.4a, I'm just going to move my decimal place over 2 times to the left, add my 0. So this now becomes 300 times 0.04 times 2. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 300 by 2. I can multiply in any order I want, right? It's based on the commutative property. So I'm going to multiply 300 by 2 because I can do that in my head. I know that that's 600. So now I have 600 times 0.04. Okay, and so let's just do that multiplication real quick, and then we're going to have our final answer. Okay. All right, and I'm all done. So I get a final answer of $24. And what that means is by depositing $300 into an account that earns simple interest at a rate of 4% per year, what we learned is that from just not touching that bank account, that bank account is going to earn an extra $24 for free after 2 years because of simple interest. So now that account actually has $324 in it, and that's by doing nothing. You just earned free money. Okay? So Natalie, she deposits $600 into her savings account. Okay, so right away, I know that $600, that's my P, okay, because it's a deposit, okay? And she's earning, again, an interest rate of 4%. There's my R. How much will be in her account after 10 years? There's my time. Okay, so now I've got to figure out my I. So I have 600 times 4% times 10 years. And that's going to give me my I. Okay. Again, we're going to follow the same steps. I'm going to convert my 4% into a decimal. So it's actually going to become 600 times 0.04, or 4 hundredths, times 10. 600 times 10, that is, if I just do this multiplication right here, 600 times 10, I'm just going to add a 0 to 600. That's going to become 6,000 times 4 hundredths. And now let's just multiply. So I have 6,000 times 4 hundredths. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 24. Bring my decimal in twice. 240. So what that means is the interest earned was $240. Okay, but what I want to look at the question. The question says, how much will be in her account after 10 years? I found out that she earned $240 just by not touching that account after 10 years. So if I want to know how much is in her account now, I need to add that to the original deposit. Okay, so she had $600 initially. She earned $240 in interest. So if I add those together, now after 10 years, she has $840 in her account. And that's my final answer. Let's take a look at another problem. This is a little bit different. How much was the principal? So actually now what I'm given is I'm given my interest of $440. I know that, okay? And that's going to be equal to whatever the principal was, which is what we're trying to figure out. We don't know, okay? Times my rate. My rate's 5%. And then multiplied by my amount of time, 4 years, okay? So I need to multiply all these pieces together. But now I don't know what my P is. So I need to solve for P. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 5% by 4. But in order to multiply 5%, I have to convert it into a decimal. So I have P times 0.05 or 500ths times 4. So now I can do 500ths times 4, which is 20. But it's going to be actually 2/10 after I add my decimal. So now I have 440 equals 2/10 times P. So I need to figure out 2/10 times what equals $440. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to divide by 2/10. If I divide by 2/10, that's 0.2 over 0.2. That's just 1. So it cancels each other out. I'm left with P, and now I just got to figure out what 440 divided by 2/10 is. I need to move my decimal over once, move it over once, so I got to add a 0. And then 2 goes into 4 twice, minus 4, left with 0, bring down your 4, goes into 4 twice, minus 4, and then I have nothing else, I have nothing but 0, so I can just add those zeros up. So 2 goes into 4,400, 2,200 times. So what we just figured out is that the initial deposit was $2,200. Okay, and that's it for interest, you guys. Okay, so let's do a quick little recap. Okay, this is your simple interest formula right here. This is what you need. Okay, and what happens is your money, when your bank account, if you're to make a deposit, say of $600, okay, and you're earning simple interest at a rate of 4% per year, and you wait after 10 years, you're earning free money. Okay, so if you plug in all these values into the simple interest formula, you will find out how much free money you earn just by putting that money into that account. Okay, so let's make sure we have this formula in our notes. Okay, we know what all the pieces mean. So then all we have to do is plug in our values into the formula, and then we can find any piece of information that we need. Okay, good luck on your assignment.